Okay, SMX medical update time. We bring on Dr. Joe McGinley, who is now working with the Club MX Yamaha team. So, again, unfortunate when you have to get called into action for Ryder Malinowski and Max Shane off the start. First lap of SMX Next at Anaheim 2. So, I know you've been working with Ryder. What have you learned?
Well, if bad news could be good news, that's what we'll be discussing. I was there. I saw that crash, and man, I just thought the worst when I was watching that. So we had Ryder come out. I spoke with his dad actually the evening after the race and got a great update. You know, he's awake, he was alert, he was moving all of his extremities. So that was the best news that we could have had at that point. He was being scanned. He's being worked on at the local emergency department at the trauma center. Believe it or not, he was discharged the following day, and you saw Ryder's post. He mentioned they had a hip dislocation and a fracture of his scapula. So we ended up having him come out. We were going to work on that hip dislocation and presumed a labral tear. So he actually flew out to here in Casper on Sunday evening, and then we worked on him all day Monday. Now, the good news is he's going to recover from all of these. None of these are, life-changing injuries. It's going to take some time. It's going to take quite a bit of recovery and treatments to get through it. But none of this is career-ending as far as the injuries go. So that's the good news. Again, when I saw that crash, I was concerned it was going to be a lot worse than this.
Well, as a rider, and for most people, they're going to say, like, are you crazy? Why are you asking this? But as a rider, every time I was injured, the first question out of my mouth was, how long am I out? When am I going to be able to race again? I know it's bad. I know I'm hurt, but when am I going to be able to race again? So I'll pose the question to you because as a rider, I know Ryder was already thinking about that stuff. So what are you thinking on timeframes?
Well, Ryder was in great spirits. Again, for dealing with that injury and everything else, he was sore, obviously. He was traveling, came out to Wyoming. We were putting him through all type of scans, but his mood was great. He was very positive, and that's the first question he asked is, when can I get back to riding? Now that we know that there's nothing permanent here, we can get everything fixed, when can I ride? We're going to be shooting for the summer on this. We're going to have 6 weeks of solid, no exercise, no bike time, no training whatsoever. So a minimum of 6 weeks. We're going to reevaluate him at 6 weeks to see how those vertebrae are healing and see how that hip's healing. And then we'll have a much more clear timeline of getting back to exercise. So if everything looks good, then we'll start some very light non-contact exercise just to stay in shape, stay conditioned. But we won't know really for 6 weeks where that's going to end up.
A couple other injuries over the weekend. So Chance Hymas goes down the classic, stick the arm out, end up hurting the shoulder. It's another dislocated shoulder. We've defined 1,000 times on this show now that a separated shoulder is the clavicle becoming disconnected. The dislocated shoulder is when the shoulder comes out. So even I know that part now. I don't know how much more you can comment on Hymas because we don't know if there's any other soft tissue damage. But what do you think when you hear dislocated shoulder for Chance Hymas?
Well, we're already making progress, Weege. We got that sorted out. That's the hardest part of the question. So the shoulder dislocation, that's the ball and socket joint. And when that pops out, commonly there's a tear of the labrum or the ligaments in that area. MRI is going to sort that out. The fact that they're already, calling it that he's not going to be racing for the next few weeks suggests that there's some sort of soft tissue injury there. I don't know if we'll have to have surgery yet. We should hear an announcement from Honda and Chance shortly, but that's all going to depend on the MRI because there's quite a bit of variability. We saw Malcolm Stewart, he is able to get back and go riding. Chance is going to be missing races. That's not because one wants to be out there and the other one doesn't. That's just based on the severity of that injury determined by MRI.
All right. Well, clock's ticking now for Chance Hymas, maybe to be back when West resumes after their break or Pro Motocross. We'll see. As always, thanks for the info.
Great. Thank you, guys.